Today on the Hangout, the Toronto Raptors surge to a 2-0 lead on the Wizards. Meanwhile, Eric Bledsoe's asking, who is Scary Terry Rozier? And are we witnessing the end? This is Hangouts! Basketball fans, welcome into Canada's home for talking hoops. This is the Hangout. I am Akil Augustine, and this is the first time ever that we, as Toronto Raptors fans, can sit here and say the team has handled home court in the playoffs. Major news. And to break down this major news, we have the man who was punching the board, touching. What do you do with the board? You click the button?
Delegating.
He's delegating.
Barking out ideas. I don't know. Nothing really important.
He informed Dan Gladman that some beers had died courtside. This is the producer of the Raptors broadcast.
That was a rough moment.
I'm going to do an over and under on how many times you guys do Drake cutaways next game, though.
There'll be a few.
All right.
It gets eyeballs.
Also, a longtime member of the family, goes way back before the days of Hangout, but we love having him. This is the American-Canadian, William Strickland. What's your middle name, Will?
We'll never tell you on air, but I will tell you that I'm a man of many seasons. Off-season, preseason, regular season, and of course, the postseason.
I think his middle name is Ebenezer. And this guy is literally on television 24 hours a day. Now, is it a hologram? Do you have a body double? Are there 6 of you? Your world
just work hard, man.
Devo Brown.
Just work hard, dude.
Hardly work. It's just a 1/2 hour looped over and over again.
Yeah, something like that. But I just hope you're wearing pants when you're watching, please.
I'm definitely not wearing a shirt when I'm watching. All right, the Toronto Raptors win. I think it was 130 to 119. But, I mean, the score was really – the final score is not indicative of how the game was played. Will Strickland, I'll start with you. Were you surprised with how the Toronto Raptors won Game 2, knowing that they jumped out to a 20-point lead early against the Washington Wizards team who's historically been a thorn in their side?
Absolutely not.
You were not surprised?
Absolutely
Lies, but go on.
Absolutely not. Why should I be? The Raptors are the best team in the Eastern Conference all year long. The Wizards had all kinds of issues, especially without their man, John Wall. They had a certain esprit de corps, if you will.
I don't know what that means.
It means they had spirit. You know, the team felt like a team. Okay? That's a certain esprit de corps that wasn't there when John Wall was on the team. You notice that with the Marcin Gortat tweet. You notice that they played better with Thomas Satoransky at the point. Bradley Beal being the leader. Not to say that they were a better team without John Wall. Well, I'll say it like this. John Wall is the best player on that team, but they're not a better team with John Wall on that team.
I don't believe you, and I think you're doing some revisionist history because I don't think you thought the Raptors were going to play that well. But I'm going to leave you with a little. I just don't believe you.
My name is not Paul Anthony Pierce.
People. I'll let another person chime in. Devo Brown.
I wanted them to come out like that, and they did.
But you did. But did you think?
No, because as a Raptors fan, traditionally we're supposed to be nervous in the postseason. But after Game 1, everyone felt good. You saw the body language of the players, the coaching staff, and the fans all change. Dude, this is going to be a sweep. I have a feeling this is a sweep.
Okay, wow. Dan Gladman, I'll let you chime in before we go back to Game 1.
Well, I'll answer your question honestly.
Oh, you'll actually answer my question?
Yeah, I will.
Why'd you look at me like that when you say honestly? Is it true?
Because we think you're lying.
Because it was shocking. The first quarter of Game 2 was a shock. When it was like 37 to 14 in the first quarter, I could not believe my eyes. Now, I do think you're right. They're the Raptors. They've been first place all year. That they had a really strong first quarter at home was not a surprise. But how poorly Washington played, and I know they've had issues and bringing back Wall into the lineup, but still, this is the playoffs, man. They came out no heart, no effort, no strategy, no game plan, and I was shocked to see how poorly Washington came out knowing they need to make adjustments in that first quarter.
That first quarter, I thought we were going to jump out to a lead. Not to this extent, obviously, but that fourth quarter when they cut it down to 5. You can't say that, Will. You can't say that. You were like, oh, man.
That was because, again, right? I don't have the typical Raptors fan malaise in thinking about the Raptors. I don't go, oh, here's the history. Oh, everybody in the States hates us. I don't do that. I don't do that. What I look at is the facts of the matter, and this is what I deal with. Paul Anthony Pierce is not on the team anymore, so forget about that. Stop worrying about him. At the end of the day, the Raptors are a better team. They stick to their habits. They've done that. Dwayne Casey said he would play 11, 12 deep. He's done that, even without Van Fleet. So at the end of the day, you have to look at what's presented in front of you, and that's what they did. They came out and they did their jobs. Every team is going to make a run. Basketball is a game of runs. But how you sustain those runs is the difference between being a good team and a great team. And the Raptors are edging toward being a great team.
All right, now, Monday morning at Raptors, actually it's Tuesday morning, Raptors shoot-around, I asked Dwayne Casey a question, and the entire media corps looked at me like I was crazy, including Dwayne Casey.
But they're not wrong.
I said,
And that's not the first time.
Yeah.
I said, Dwayne, how surprised would you be if DeMar DeRozan or Kyle Lowry ended up having a huge game? Because that's what's been missing from this group. He said, that's not the way we're made up. Well, you look at the floor Tuesday night, Game 2, DeMar DeRozan plays like a superstar. For the first time in a long time, the Raptors haven't had that in the playoffs. Game 1, however, was more the case of a balanced team approach. Devo, which style do you see this team getting their wins in this series? Is it going to be the continual development of a whole group effort, or are Kyle and DeMar going to do what every other team, and maybe except for the Portland Trailblazers, does, has their superstars rise to the occasion?
I think it's going to be both. I think you're going to see what we've seen in Game 1 too. No, but I'm not trying to sit on the fence. I think it just depends on how the game presents itself. You know, DeMar said it. He said, I went out to be aggressive, but tonight I had chances and opportunities to shoot the ball. Whereas Game 1, it was more distributing because that's how they defended me. I think they're smart enough players, him and Kyle, to know when to defer to their teammates. And we've got the bench broskies now that are absolutely dominant when they go out there. They're holding their own. So I think you're going to get both. It depends on how they're going to D us up and what adjustments in this first round anyways Washington's going to make.
But do you guys see, like, you guys get my point, though? Like, every other team gets their superstars to be huge. This Raptors team's got this new playoff recipe.
You can't go by what the other teams are doing. And we saw this in the successful playoff run in 2016. Yeah, there's some games where DeRozan scores 30. There's some games where Lowry scores 30. There's other games where somebody else picks up the slack and you get 15 or 17 from them, but you're getting the assists. You're getting the ball movement. It's going to be kind of what Devo said. It's the defense is doing this. There's going to be opportunities here. And they had to respect what happened in Game 1, where DeLon Wright and C.J. Miles killed them at the three-point line, so they couldn't focus as much on DeRozan.
You're just nodding your head, Will.
No, I'm just saying that, you know, the Raptors are not made up that way, and DeMar DeRozan is not that guy. He's not. I've said this time and time again on this show and on others, that the regular season makes all-stars. The postseason makes superstars, and until you show and prove in the postseason, you're a superstar. So you cannot call DeMar DeRozan a superstar as yet. He has to have the superstar performance and be a perennial playoff performer in that way to make that happen.
So this team's going to go to conference championship depending on its bench and not having.
No, I think no. It's an entire unity as a team, because you look at something like Houston's Game 1. Harden willed them to that win. The rest of the team did nothing.
James Harden for a second.
Yeah.
Talk about DeMar DeRozan. Okay, DeMar DeRozan knows enough now and has evolved enough as a basketball player in the NBA to understand and recognize that he doesn't have to do everything, but he can still be effective being a distributor. And now when it comes time he has to take over, he can. Before he didn't know the difference. Okay. Now he does.
DeRozan scored 37. The Raptors scored 130. That's still 93 points that came from other places that they needed.
Yeah, but you still had a player getting more than his average, which is my point. Is like you got to get your stars to be better than they are in the regular season. But hey,
well, I don't think we're going to get him doing that every game, though.
Well, hey, listen, if you guys want to go to the championship, you guys want to go conference championship, y'all better not be hoping DeLon Wright's the one carrying you there. Still more to come on Canada's home for Talking Hoops. We got to talk about the phantom of the process. When will he return? Philly's waiting. He's tweeting. We'll be back. This is Hangout